John in Gilbert, Arizona. Hey, John, what's up?
Hey, Tom, great show.
Thank you. What's up?
Hey, my question is, I want to start the question off with provisional ballot. Can you explain to me exactly what that is? Because, in Arizona, as you know, we got, voter suppression going on.
Yeah. Very quickly, John, a provisional ballot is basically a placebo ballot. A placebo is a sugar pill that your doctor gives you and says, here, this will help your depression. And people feel all better because they've been given a pill. It looks like a real pill. Most provisional ballots are never counted.
So my question is, okay, so last week, Bernie had 5 rallies here last week. I went to 3 of them. Even if you just mathematically do the math, it's absolutely impossible for, the fact that Hillary won. Is it possible? I know the mayor in Phoenix has called for investigation.
Right.
Is it possible to have all those ballots counted and have this whole thing recounted?
Probably not. And the big problem is that if you were given a provisional ballot, it's because the voting rolls showed you not being registered as a Democrat. That has not changed. So when the way they do provisional ballots is they first take a look at your name and say, okay, is this person eligible to vote in this election? So you have to be registered as a Democrat to vote in the Democratic primary. If you were given the provisional ballot at the poll, it's because you're not showing up as a Democrat. And frankly, you're still not showing up as a Democrat. Even if you thought that something has happened to that voter list, and we may, maybe 5 years before we find out what happened to it, but something happened to that voters list, and thousands of people who were registered as Democrats got bumped off. Or it may be that Bernie's rallies just excited so many people who had never bothered to register as a Democrat, but thought they could show up and vote, that they showed up and voted and didn't realize that they had to have been registered as a Democrat. But the bottom line is, John, the election's over. We need to move on. There will be litigation with regard to Arizona, but the big focus of the litigation is going to be voter suppression, not specifically against Bernie, but against everybody. This is, the Republicans. The only way Republicans can win elections is to diminish the number of people who are voting, and that's obviously Maricopa County, Phoenix was all about that, and whether the county officials are partisan or not, I don't know.
And Tom, and another thing too is, our governor, Doug Ducey, who once again, he belongs in prison, in our for-profit prisons. He just signed a voter suppression bill 2 weeks ago. And I don't understand why nobody goes after these criminals. And when you do go after these criminals, how come they're exempt from the same type of treatment that we get if we're not a politician?
Well, that's part of my rant for the next hour, John. Thanks for bringing it up. But, the reality is that the largest amount of latitude under the First Amendment in terms of freedom of speech is given to people in the political arena, simply because the idea of freedom of speech was so that we could have free political speech, principally. And then you got the issue of sovereign immunity and whatnot. John, thanks for the call. We'll be back.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.